Today's topic is this. I'm going to show you the data comparing the sales gap when partner CEOs who understood achieved a new rank. First of all, among today's business topics, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working for me? Some of you might be thinking that, right? Well then, the reason your business isn't working is this. It's because you haven't realized it yet. Maybe you're being too negative, or you just haven't figured out the right direction yet. But most importantly, you're not taking action and just overcomplicating things in your head. You try something by just jumping in, and when it doesn't work out, should I try again? You need to realize things by trying them out like this, but often people don't take action. So set a long-term goal. And then set a one-year goal, but even a year is a long time. So you need to break that down further and set short-term goals as well. And with Atomy, you have to work with a people-centered approach. How should you go about doing people-centered work? For example, how can my partner maintain auto sales master or sales master status? How can my partner receive system income? Don't think about yourself first. Think about your partner. Why? Because if you think about yourself first, you might end up acting selfishly. So for my partner sales, because we need to reach a certain sales level to maintain semi-sales master or auto sales master status, how does the pro rata work? It means that on both the left and right sides of my partner, there also need to be business partners. To receive system income, you need people who attend seminars, share products with consumers, and explain the business. So, being partner-centered means focusing not on yourself, but on your partner. Instead of planning, I'm going to become an auto sales master, you should be thinking, how can I help my partner become an auto diamond master? That's what you should be thinking about first. That's how you work with a people-centered approach. But if from the beginning you think, I'll be satisfied as long as I become an auto sales master, then you end up focusing only on sales. And you might feel content at a certain point, but your partners will have a harder time. Do you understand? Now, you know our Atomy has certain skills. What are those skills and know-how? You always talk about driving depth and pile up. Light the fire at the bottom. So, if you light the fire at the very bottom of the wood pile, the flames will quickly rise up, and that's how you gain speed. Then you have to go all the way down to the very bottom, riding the base all the way. But people, they just say, yeah, but they don't really grasp the difference it makes in sales and speed. So today, I'd like to show you the sales gap between those partners who have become and maintained new Diamond Masters. Thank you. I think this might help you realize things a bit faster. So I'll show you the data one by one. And these are all really successful cases. Why? Because these are cases that are growing very well. Because usually people take on challenges the wrong way. And when you do that, you don't have a clear direction, even if you take on the challenge. In that case, your sales might spike temporarily and then stop. That's why you need to constantly have that vision in mind for things to keep moving forward. So you always have to keep drawing that big picture as you move forward. Sell once and that's it. That's not what this is about. This isn't that kind of business. But here's what's important. You really need a super dream. Because for example, on my left side, if a Diamond Master hits a cycle or two cycles in the second half of December, from the 16th to the end of the month, 3 Diamond Masters were born on my left side, but there were none on the right. If I didn't have a super dream, would I have been able to help that side? The left side? There's no way I could have helped. But what kind of vision did I have? Everyone, I'm not some kind of prodigy either. Even the super dream. Everyone, you need to have a clear and definite goal. Only then can you invest with conviction. If you don't have a clear purpose and just do it because someone told you to, that's not it. I have a clear vision. What is it? You want to receive a large amount of system income, right? Then I think, I want 2,000. So now it's 2026, right? The second half of 2027. So by the end of the year, by December, I have this clear picture in my mind that I will definitely achieve Auto Sharon Rose Master. And as I maintain that rank, I will consistently hit 6 million points every day. That's the vision I have, and that's why I'm moving forward. Why? If you have 3 on each side, 3 Diamond Masters on both sides, then even if I'm not a Diamond Master myself, as long as I maintain Sharon Rose Master, I only need 2 on each side. But if I have 3, that's even better. So within that, there are semi-sales masters and regular consumers who just meet the requirements evenly. So what happens then? You end up reaching 6 million, right? That's why having 3 on each side is important. Because I understand that structure, I know that I have to create that setup on either the left or right side, and as I work toward building it, I'm moving in that direction. Can you achieve both sides at once? That's not how it works. You start by building individually. One side drops, the other grows. This side gets bigger, that side does. One side suddenly grows significantly, you rebalance. The other side grows significantly. And after such fluctuations, it stabilizes. So for me, the big picture was that if I wanted to match 6 million points every day, I needed to have Diamond Masters for 3 because I had that vision in mind. That's why new members were born in my leg. If I hadn't had that vision, what would I have done? It would have been too overwhelming, right? It would have been tough, right? This time it would have been a bit hard, right? You'd probably say, why don't you take it a bit slower? That's why you need a super dream. You need to have that vision. Do you understand what I mean? So when I share this with you and you have that data, what happens? You begin thinking, I should do it that way, and you find people and work. Eventually, not just you, but your partners will begin working that way, so everyone ends up following suit. What occurs to me? You'll expand, right? That's why you need to have a big picture and a plan and move up step by step, one level at a time. So let me tell you how I made that breakthrough. Everyone, you shouldn't just roughly estimate things based only on sales figures. If you really want to help people grow into higher positions, then you need to know exactly the person's position, their placement in the genealogy, their line, leg, and sales volume, as well as their tendencies, environment, and even details, like how many side business partners, and consumers are in their left and right legs. Only with all this information can you promote someone to a higher position and have things run smoothly. This is really important because this is a business built on trust. Now take a look. You know how I always say that the downline is really important in this kind of structure? A, B, there's C. But here, both C and B are new Diamond Masters, and A is maintaining their rank. This is their second time maintaining it. But everyone, look at the difference in sales and see just how important the downline is. I'll explain each partner's sales one by one so you can understand. I was so moved. It was such a grateful day for me when everything wrapped up perfectly. But the important thing is, at first, I didn't know these people would challenge for a new rank. Before I talk about this, there's something these 3 people have in common. What they have in common is that, first of all, they each have a vision that they must succeed. In other words, instead of thinking it'll just happen on its own, they had the mindset, I need to take action first and lead the way myself. So starting with myself, I'm going to become an auto semi-sales master. I'm going to achieve auto sales myself. Having this vision is what all 3 of them have in common. Isn't the sponsor supposed to make this happen for me? That's not it. I have to make it happen too. This was really important. Because everyone, no matter how much one side is taking off, there are always people who just won't do it. It just means they don't have that vision. So I believe that no matter the environment, you must nurture people who get things done. That's what gives you the power to keep expanding your system income and to make duplication work smoothly. You get it, right? If you have partners who just think, oh, it'll work out on its own, when will anything ever get done, right? When proactive partners show up, you need to work even harder to make things happen. Now, as for leaders, first of all, for those of you who wish you had truly passionate and loyal partners on both sides, thank you. If you as a leader show those partners the right example first, those partners will respond with gratitude. Then those partners will follow you and try to do the same, leading to duplication. Is there a partner who is more capable than I am? That's not because of me, but because there's a sponsor above them. That's why they're under me, everyone. Do you think, oh, this person will just take care of it themselves? In my experience, that's very rare. From what I see in the current environment, that's almost impossible. Why? Because things are transparent now. If you just do a little research, you'll find that there are people who come in after realizing, oh, this sponsor is different from the one I knew. So things are different now compared to the past. Even with Atomy, don't keep saying things like, I was pathetic in the past, or I have no ability. Because things have become transparent now. Because the economy is tougher. Everyone wants to go where things are better. It's something everyone feels the same about. So now we really need to have the mindset that we can make it happen. Now let me tell you how each person became a Diamond Master, starting from the very bottom. If you look here, the C registration, they registered in October 2024. So now there are about 1,000 members. And they kept maintaining the semi-sales master status continuously. Everyone, this is really important. It's not easy to keep this up. So even if your sponsor helps, this doesn't just happen automatically. It's because that partner also had the determination to make it happen that they succeeded. So I believe that in the Atomy business, it's never just about meeting the right sponsor. The upper, me, and lower, everyone has to be in sync, like clapping hands together. Teamwork is important. Now everyone take a look at this. Look at the Diamond Master during the 2 cycles from the 16th to the 31st. On the left side, the sales were 8,816,260 and 9,300,000 points, right? Everyone, this is a new Diamond Master? How many sales points does a new Diamond Master need to achieve? You need 7,500,000 points on each side. But how much did they actually get? They got even more than that. What that means is, while increasing the basic commission, they also nurtured rank achievers within their team. So even though that person was at the very bottom, there were times when the points didn't just match at 300,000 to 300,000, but rather at 700,000 or 1,500,000. But what both I and this person did well was, if you want to maintain your position, you can't just try to match both sides evenly. If you do that, you'll never make it. So when it comes to deciding when to take on a challenge, you need to look at your legs carefully. Let me show you how things were at the beginning. There are left and right sides to see, right? So to determine whether it's possible to take on a challenge at this point, you need to know exactly how much is on each side and who is there. But as I looked on the right side, there was a semi-sales master. What does it mean when we say the semi-sales master is splashing? It means that sometimes the status is maintained. Then it pauses for a bit. Then it's maintained again. Then pauses again. We call that splashing. There are people who reached it once, then couldn't maintain it for a long time, earning maybe 1 million or 500,000. But below them, there are sales masters who are able to maintain their status. There are people who are able to maintain it on their own. And below them, there are semi-sales masters who are able to maintain their status on their own as well. So what happens to one side in that case? Well, at least the sales are roughly accounted for. On one side, the team leader and Diamond Master sales are showing up. But what's missing? There aren't any people. It's just one sales master, so you really need to pay attention to this. So when you try to increase your sponsorship bonuses, what does it mean that there's no one to throw away? You might think, did my sponsor abandon me? But that's not the case. If you keep at it consistently, right, an opportunity will definitely come. Why? Because with ranks, it's not just about sending the same person every time. You need rotation. Each person has a different time for sharing, nurturing, going off the radar for a bit, and growing. So as you rotate through that, that's how your foundation stays solid and steady. That's why Chairman Park Won-gil said not to hold on to just 2 people. He always said to work with 3. Not only Chairman Park Won-gil, but also Imperial Master Lee Deok-ho said you need to work with 3. Now look here. On the right side, things were going well, and on the left side, there was someone at the very bottom who was eager to challenge themselves to become a sales master. So, since my partner was taking on the challenge, about a week later, as I was helping to create a sales master here, above that, oh, so this is how it works? What was lucky about the promotion? At the end of 2025, there was a promotion in Korea, right? That gave us another opportunity to challenge for a new rank. So since I was already a fan of Him, I thought, maybe I'll try buying this too. And as I did, my rank started to take shape. So even here at the top, someone emerged who was going to become a sales master. And on the other side, someone appeared who was going to become a semi-sales master. So if there's just one more on this side, it could work, right? But my principle is this. When you want to challenge yourself and bring a partner along, if you say, you should go because of this, and try to persuade them, will it work or not? That's just pressure. You never know if that person's heart is really in it or not. So when I want to bring someone along, it's because I'm the one who wants it more. If I want to bring them, then I should do everything I can to make it reasonable for them, so that even if I'm the one leading, it's still okay, right? If I go further like this, won't there be even more synergy? That's what you call a deal. If we help you out like this, would you like to go for it? That's how you can approach it. But if you look at the picture on the right, is it easy for a semi-sales master at the very bottom to create a sales master? Is it difficult? It's difficult. So what happens because of that? If you look all the way up here, there's a side hustler here. This person is also working hard, attending seminars, and there are even some very active business partners among the consumers. So what happens? This person starts to question things. So together with me and C, we helped and created a sales master. Then what happens? How do you know if things went well or not? If it went well, when that person thinks about it, they'll feel that everything went really smoothly. A message of gratitude will come to you. This is what I received. Thank you so much for your great help. I was able to finish everything well. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I will continue to learn properly and grow well together with my partners. That's the kind of message you get. This is really important, everyone. That means it went well. Then next time when we take on a new challenge, there might be times when there's no one around. At those times, just say thank you. People like this want to go together, and I want to go too. Later on, this is how it turns out. If just a few more proactive people step up, this is why, as you know, the Imperial said it actually got easier for him as he moved up the Imperial ranks. Why? Because they all want to go together with me. That's what he said he did. I completely understand that feeling. Once people realize that going together later creates more synergy and benefits, what do you think those who've experienced that will do? They stick close together, not wanting to leave their sponsor. I'll stick with you, even if I have to shine in dollars. There was someone who appealed to me like that. Why is that? They know. The reason they act that way is because in the end, they have the confidence and trust that if they work with that person, they'll succeed. So if I take action first and trust that person, I need to have the attitude that gives me the certainty that I can succeed 100%. So in a way, I realized that I had consistently built trust with my Atomy partners. I'm grateful for that too. So what does it mean to say that I'm at the stage where I enjoy this? In the past, when someone said, let's work hard together, I would ask, why should I? I used to react like that, but later on, honestly, I became even more proactive in the business. Thank you. When the environment is good and the attitude is right, people like that become even more eager to get involved. And when that happens, all the hardships I went through just wash away. So when it comes to rewards, if everything goes too smoothly, you might not really feel this kind of happiness. But because I went through so many struggles, these days I find it all so much more enjoyable. You know what I mean, right? So what happened then? Earlier, we saw 8 million versus 9 million points, right? That resulted in 2 sales masters and 1 semi-sales master on the left side, so 3 people in total. On the right side as well, 2 sales masters and 1 semi-sales master were created, so that's 3 people too. So how is person C doing now? The sales on both sides aren't that different now, right? That's why this is really important for you all. If there's a big difference, it means the gap has widened after all. That's it. It means that even at the very bottom, they're catching up. So from the sponsor's perspective, since the very bottom is the root, they try to focus more on the people under C. Why? To grow the people below even more. This is really important, everyone.